start my workout for today. All I'm using for today's workout is one dumbbell and my jump rope, but you do not need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout because I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises very briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So first of all, let me just begin by telling you that this is a 10-pound dumbbell. That is a good weight for me. You may need to use something lighter than that. You may need to use something heavier than that. That depends on your strength. It depends on your level of fitness. It depends on what you have available to you, and it depends on how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weight and make the decision that is best for you. If you do not have a dumbbell, a kettlebell will also work. But if you don't have any fitness equipment, you can look for household items that will work. Maybe a shampoo bottle or a water bottle filled with some sort of weight, for example. You could fill it with water. You might be able to make it a little bit heavier by filling it with something like uncooked rice or dried beans or lentils, kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, or maybe some of those little decorative pebbles. If you're taking your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail today, maybe you could fill it with dirt or sand. But as long as you can find something that you were able to maintain a secure grip on so that you're not going to drop it and injure yourself or break something and make a mess, and as long as it's not too heavy for you, then pretty much anything will work for weight. So get creative and use what you've got. Look for household items that will work. Maybe if you are taking your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail today, you could even just find a heavy rock. So just get creative. If you have absolutely nothing at all that is going to work for weight, or you just prefer not to add weight to the workout, that's fine. The added weight is optional. I will be providing body weight modifications. So other than my dumbbell, the only thing I'm using today is my jump rope. So I have the lovely Victoria here with me today. Victoria is my beautiful silver jump rope with these cute little metallic pink handles. So if you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RUDEBECCA to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. All of that information is in the description box down below the video. So if you do not have a jump rope, again, that's fine. First of all, the jump rope sections are optional. There are 2 jump rope sections. We're going to start the workout with a 5-minute jump rope section. We're going to finish the workout with a 5-minute jump rope section. So if you don't have a jump rope, here are your options. Number 1, you can just eliminate the jump rope sections entirely. That is absolutely fine. You can do just part 2 of the workout with me, and that will absolutely work as a standalone workout. So that's your first option if you don't have a jump rope. The other thing you could do is just pantomime jumping rope, or you can do something like jogging in place or high knees, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, pendulum, toe taps. Any kind of moderate paced cardio exercise that you are able to sustain for 50-second work intervals. So that is option number 2. Option number 3 is 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be exactly 5 minutes. My cardio sections are going to be exactly 5 minutes. Yours don't have to be. They could be plus or minus 5 minutes. So maybe you're really fast and you can run a mile in 5 minutes. So if you have access to the field at your local high school, maybe you could just do 4 laps around the track, and that could be your cardio section. So while I'm jumping rope for 5 minutes, you can be running 1 mile. Okay, so that's one example. If you're a little bit slower than that, you can run 3 times or twice around the track or once around the track. You could do up and down the bleachers. If you're at home and you have stairs in your home or your apartment complex, or again, if you're taking your work to the beach or the park or the hiking trail and there's steps there, up and down the steps, up and down the bleachers is another great option. So 5 minutes of that can be your cardio section. Or if you have access to something like an exercise bike or a treadmill or an elliptical, Stairmaster, anything like that, you can hop on one of those for 5 minutes. So basically, plus or minus 5 minutes of moderate paced cardio, any way you want to get that done while I'm jumping rope will work, okay? So that's what to do if you don't have a jump rope. If you do have a jump rope and you are including the jump rope sections with me, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. I always just kind of jog in place like this while I'm jumping rope. If you're more comfortable jumping with your feet together, fine, jump with your feet together. If you excel at jump rope and you would like to do something a little more challenging, you can do a more difficult jump rope variation. You can do a boxer shuffle, you can do high knees, you can do jump rope jacks, twist jumps, you can jump side to side, it doesn't matter. And you don't have to stick with the same jump rope variation for the entire cardio section. You can mix it up, freestyle, okay, just again, 5 minutes or so of moderate pace cardio, any way you want to get that done. So if you're jumping rope with me, any style of jump rope is fine. All right, so that covers parts 1 and 3 of the workout. And then part 2, we're just doing 2 weighted exercises with the dumbbell, super simple. So, you also will be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. I forgot we're doing Russian twists and we're doing push-ups. So if you do push-ups from your knees, you'll definitely want something soft beneath you. So I'm using my jump rope mat since I'm out here jumping rope and it's nice and thick on this concrete. But a thick exercise mat is great if you have one. If not, a yoga mat is fine. If you don't have a mat, a towel should probably suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, then you may not need anything at all. But I'm starting with a push-up variation. So you can do any push-up variation you want with or without weight, just as long as you're minding your form. So there are 3 bullet points that I always want you to remember for your push-ups. The first bullet point is head bullet point. The first bullet point is head in line with the spine. So if you imagine that you're standing with your back up against the wall and just gently pressing the back of your head into the wall, that's where you want your head to be. And that's where you want your head to stay. It's a very common mistake that you'll see people kind of bobbing their head up and down while they're doing their push-ups. So keep your head in line with your spine the entire time. Your second bullet point, shoulders away from the ears. And here's what I mean when I say that, is that a lot of people, and especially as you fatigue, you might see this happening, you'll start to kind of sink down into your shoulders like this. So when I say shoulders away from the ears, I'm talking about this. Press the ground away from you, push yourself up as high as you can in that plank pose so that your shoulders are away from your ears. And your third bullet point, flat back. So again, as you fatigue, you might notice that your hips or your belly want to start kind of drooping down towards the mat like this. So in order to fix that, you need to really engage your abs. You're going to use your ab muscles to lift your hips up high and keep them high so that you maintain integrity in that plank the entire time. So imagine that someone's about to come along and punch you as hard as they can in your stomach and you're bracing for that impact. That is how engaged your abs should be. So spread out all 10 fingers. Place your hands on the mat or on the floor or the ground directly underneath your shoulders. Step your feet back so that you are in a plank pose. Now, let's go over our 3 bullet points. Head in line with the spine, so make sure you're not allowing your head to drop down like this. You do not need to overcorrect by hyperextending your neck and jutting your chin out. Just want your head perfectly in line with your spine. Make sure that you're not sinking down into your shoulders. Press the ground away from you. Push yourself up high. Shoulders are away from the ears. And make sure that you're not allowing your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat. That's causing an arch in my back, so you're going to tighten up your abs. You're going to use your ab muscles to lift your hips up high and keep them lifted high. Now, if you find that your hips are slightly elevated like this, that's not terrible because your back is still flat. You're not going to hurt yourself or anything, and it might make the push-up a little bit easier for you. So don't stress out about that too much, but ideally, you want your body in one perfectly straight line from your heels all the way to your shoulders. Think of your body like it is a literal plank of wood. And then once you have found that perfect plank pose and your body is in one gorgeous straight line from your heels to your shoulders, and really your straight line is from your heels to the crown of your head since your head is in line with your spine, nothing moves, okay? So literally your body's a plank of wood. This is my heels, this is my head. I'm lowering this plank of wood down to the floor or the ground and pressing it back up. But this itself cannot move, okay? So it can't bend and it can't curve or anything like that. So that's the visual that you want to have. So remember your 3 bullet points. Head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, flat back. So once you have found that plank pose, you're going to bend your elbows and you're going to lower your chest as close to the floor or the ground as you can without breaking that straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So if you are able to, the goal is to get your chest all the way down to the ground. If you're able to do that, great. If you are not able to get your chest all the way down to the floor of the ground without breaking that straight line from your heels to your shoulders, you have two options. Here are your two options. Option number one, put your knees down and do knee push-ups. Option two is to shorten up your range of motion. And that applies to knee push-ups as well as if you're doing standard push-ups from your toes. Okay, so if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, whether you're on your knees or on your toes, if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat without breaking that straight line, do not compensate for that fact by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. Do not compensate for that fact or try to trick yourself into thinking you're getting all the way down by lowering your forehead down towards the mat. Remember, you want your head to remain in line with your spine the whole time. So the goal is not to touch the mat. I mean, that's a goal that you're working towards. You may or may not achieve that goal today, but the objective is far more important. The objective is to maintain integrity in your plank pose the entire time, maintain that perfectly straight line, either from your heels to your shoulders if you're doing your push-ups from your toes, or if you're doing knee push-ups, your straight line is from your knees to your shoulders. But it's the exact same exercise. So from here, if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat without breaking that straight line, again, do not compensate by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. Depending on your physical stature, your belly may touch the mat. If your belly touches the mat, that doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it wrong. As long as you're keeping your abs engaged and lifting your hips high and your back is flat, don't worry about that. But the goal of the push-up, or the goal is to touch your chest down, but that's not, I don't want you to prioritize getting all the way down, because that's the wrong part of the movement to prioritize. I want you to prioritize head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, flat back, okay? So make sure your abs are super engaged the whole time. If you cannot get your chest all the way down, put your knees down. If you still can't get your chest all the way down, just shorten up your range of motion, okay? So you get your chest as close to the mat as you can without breaking that straight line. And once you've reached that point, just push yourself back up, return to your starting position, and that's your push-up, okay? So you do any push-up variation you want, with or without weight, from your toes or from your knees, all right? I am going to be holding onto one dumbbell, and I'm going to be doing a Santana push-up. So I'll show you what I'm doing with my dumbbell first, and then I'll give you your equipment-free modification. So I'm holding onto my dumbbell with one hand, my other hand is flat on the ground, and then I'm going to do my push-up from this position. And now I'm going to row the weight up towards my shoulder, press it up overhead as I come into a side plank position. Then I'm going to bring the weight back down towards my shoulder with control, rotate back into my plank pose, and put the weight down. Okay, so that's a Santana push-up, a weighted Santana push-up. So I'm going to roll the weight up towards my shoulder first, and then press it up overhead. Now from here, I'm going to do essentially a pike toe tap. But what I'm going to do is bring the dumbbell back towards my opposite foot as I do that. So from here, I just did my Santana push-up. I'm going to lift my hips up and push them back. I'm keeping my back straight and I'm keeping my legs more or less straight. As I do this, I'm pushing my hips up and back. As I do this, I'm picking up the dumbbell, bringing it back towards the opposite foot. I'm going to set it down, and then I'm going to come back into my plank pose. Now I'm going to reach back with the opposite hand, grab the dumbbell, which is now on the same side, and bring it forward. And that's how I'm switching sides, because we're going to alternate sides with each rep for our Santana push-ups. So now from here, I'm going to do my push-up, holding onto the dumbbell with my opposite hand. And now as I rotate into my side plank, I'm rowing the weight up towards my shoulder, press the weight up overhead, bring it back down, rotate back into my plank pose, and now I'm going to push my hips up and back, lift the weight, bring it back towards the opposite foot, return to my plank pose, and now reach back with the opposite hand, grab the weight, and bring it forward, okay? So that is my push-up variation. It's a weighted Santana plank plus kind of 2 pike toe taps, but not really. I don't know for sure what I'm gonna call it, but that is what I'm doing. So obviously, if your dumbbells are rounded on the ends, or if you're using household items for weight, like a water bottle or a shampoo bottle, just please exercise caution. My dumbbell is a hex dumbbell, which means that it's flat on the bottom, and that gives me more stability when I'm holding onto my dumbbell as I do my push-ups. But as long as you have one hand, so if you're using a water bottle or a shampoo bottle, or if your dumbbells are rounded on the ends, you will still have your opposite hand flat on the floor of the ground for support. So just exercise caution though, okay? Please be smart, be safe, use your common sense, make the decision that is best for you. If you do not trust yourself to not have your dumbbell roll from underneath you and you're gonna fall and get hurt, then just maybe do this exercise without the added weight, that's fine. Just, use your common sense, make the decision that is best for you. That's something I just want you to be cognizant of though. But a kettlebell is a great substitution because kettlebells are flat on the bottom. So just be careful and make sure that you are not doing anything unsafe. But that is my first exercise. If you do not have anything that's going to work for weight, or you have only a rounded dumbbell and you don't know if you can do the exercise without the dumbbell rolling from underneath you, or if you just prefer not to add weight to the workout, that's fine. Here is your body weight modification. All you're going to do is a regular Santana push-up with no added weight, and then 2 pike toe taps. Super simple. And we'll alternate sides with each rep for the push-up. Okay, so you're going to have both hands flat on the floor of the ground. From the toes or from the knees, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you're going to do your push-up, and then you're just going to rotate into a side plank. And you'll just bring the arms straight up, then rotate back into your plank pose, and now 2 pike toe taps. So sending the hips up and back stays flat, legs stay more or less straight, reach back and tap the toes on the opposite side, and then repeat, okay? So you're picking up one hand at a time, tapping the toes on the opposite side, and that's 1 rep. 1 Santana push-up plus 2 pike toe taps is 1 rep. We'll alternate sides with each rep for the push-ups, so then with your next rep, you'll do your push-up, and then rotate into a side plank. So without any weight, you're just lifting this arm straight up. You don't need to bring it up to your shoulder first, okay? Your arm is just coming straight up as you come up into that side plank. Then bring it back, and then pike toe tap, okay? So if the Santana push-ups aren't going to work for you, again, any push-up variation you want to do is fine, with or without weight, as long as you're minding your form. And then if the pike toe taps don't work for you, you can eliminate them, or you can just do maybe like a couple of knee tucks instead, something like that, that's fine. If you are doing the push-ups from your knees, then you have a couple of different options for the Santana push-up. So it just depends on how strong you are and what you want to do. So you can do the push-up from your knees, and then if you want, you can come up into your plank and then rotate into the side plank and then come back. But if that is too difficult for you, you can always keep one knee on the mat for support so that your exercise will look like this. So you do your push-up, and then as you rotate into your side plank, you're going to extend this top leg straight. The bottom knee stays bent on the mat for support. You're here in your side plank pose, your assisted side plank pose, using your bottom knee for support. Then rotate back, okay? So push up, assisted side plank, okay? And then from here, you can come up and maybe do a couple of knee tucks, or if you're capable of doing the pike toe taps, you can do those. Or if you're a super duper beginner and you just wanna work on your push-ups, just work on your push-ups, okay? Again, any push-up variation is fine, but that is what I'm doing. You have your equipment-free substitution. The only other exercise is Russian twists. This one's super simple. We do it all the time. So if you're not adding weight, then it's going to look like this. If you're a beginner, or if you're not strong enough to have your legs elevated, you can keep your heels on the mat the entire time. All you're going to do is twist your body thoracically. Really feel those obliques. Tap the mat with your fingertips if you can. So work to your own level. If you need to shorten up your range of motion, that's fine. Again, the goal is to tap the side of your mat, but that's a goal that you may or may not achieve today. It's what you're working towards. So if you can't tap the mat, don't push your body into doing anything it's not ready to do. Just shorten up your range of motion, but that's what you're going for, okay? That's what you're working towards. And then you're just gonna twist and tap the mat on the other side, or as close as you can get. Twist and tap, twist and tap, twist and tap, twist and tap. Now normally I double count these so that each time I tap this side of my mat is 1 rep. Today I'm going to single count them. So each time you tap your mat is going to be 1 rep. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Now if you want to increase the difficulty, you can do these with your heels elevated. That's the way I'm going to be doing them. But other than that, it's the same exact exercise. So twist and tap, twist and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And that's it. That's Russian twists. It's a very common exercise. We do these all the time. We just did them in the last workout. Did we just do these on Monday? I think we might have just done these like 2 days ago. So very common exercise. I'm sure you've seen it before. I'm going to be adding weight. So I'm just going to be holding onto 1 dumbbell like this. I have 1 hand on either side of the dumbbell. So again, a kettlebell is another great option. A medicine ball is a great option if you have one. But again, household items, shampoo bottle or water bottle filled with some sort of weight will work. A rock, a big heavy rock will work if you can find one at the beach or the park or the hiking trail or something like that. And again, if you're adding weight, you have the option of keeping your heels down on the mat. Twist and tap, twist and tap. If you want to increase the difficulty, elevate the heels. Twist and tap, twist and tap. Super simple. So that's all of the exercises. Now here's the format. Parts 1 and 3 are identical. I'm doing 5 minutes of interval jump rope. I'm setting my timer for 10-second rest intervals and 50-second work intervals times 5 rounds. That's 5 minutes. So each of my jump rope sections is going to be just 5 minutes long. 50-second work intervals are very difficult for jump rope, but it's only 5 minutes. So I'm going to do 10 seconds of rest and 50 seconds of work for 5 minutes. But if that is too difficult for you, you can play with the intervals. You can do 15-second rest intervals and 45-second work intervals times 5 rounds. Typically, when I do interval jump rope, I have my timer set for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals. So if you want to use those intervals, you'll set your timer for 10 seconds of rest, 20 seconds of work times 10 rounds. So you'll double your rest that way. You'll get 20 seconds of rest each minute instead of just 10. So use whatever intervals work for you. If you have excellent stamina and you just want to jump rope for 5 straight minutes without stopping or pausing to rest, great, do it. The cardio sections are plus or minus 5. My cardio sections are exactly 5 minutes. Remember, yours don't have to be exactly 5 minutes, but you can get that cardio done any way you want. All right, so part 1, 10-second rest intervals, 50-second work intervals times 5 rounds. We're doing 5 minutes of interval jump rope. Part 2, we're going back and forth between our push-ups. We're doing 20 Santana push-ups and then 100 Russian twists. And I'm going to do 5 rounds. It's going to be super tough. That is going to be a total of 100 push-ups and 500 Russian twists. That's a lot. So if that is too much for you, you have a couple of options. You can reduce the amount of reps of each exercise that we're doing per round. So instead of 20 push-ups, you can do 10 push-ups. Instead of 100 Russian twists, you can do 50 or 40 or 30 or 20, whatever works for you. Or instead of doing 5 rounds, you can do 4 rounds or 3 rounds or 2 rounds, okay? So if the amount of reps that I'm doing don't work for you, then feel free to adjust them. but I am going to be doing 20 push-ups, 100 Russian twists times 5 rounds. It's gonna be super tough, and it is gonna take a minute, okay? That's why I said that part 2 will absolutely work as a standalone workout. So if you want to eliminate the cardio sections entirely, you have that option. Part 3 is just a repeat of part 1, okay? So whatever you did in part 1, you can repeat it, or you can do something different for part 3. Just get yourself another 5 or so minutes of moderate paced cardio in a different way. It doesn't matter. But my workout is going to look like that. 5 minutes of interval jump rope, and then 5 rounds of our little superset, and then another 5 minutes of interval jump rope, okay? So that's it, that's the workout. Hopefully that is all clear. Please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and of course I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format of the workout, if you have questions about how everything fits together or how you can customize the workout to accommodate your current fitness level or any time constraints you may have, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts at all about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I'm always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And I hope you guys know that it is also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I am always here to help facilitate that. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. I also want to remind you before we begin, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure that you are going at your own pace and minding your form. So if you have excellent stamina and you are stronger than I am, you're definitely going to be faster than I am. That's wonderful. Be faster than I am, as long as you are not losing anything off of your form to get there. But if your form starts to get sloppy, you need to slow down. It is always going to be safer and more effective to slow down and do your reps with excellent form than it is to speed through and allow your form to get sloppy because you're chasing an ambitious time goal or you're competing with me or for whatever reason. If it helps you to compete with me, compete with me. If it helps you to set an ambitious time goal, go for it. But just do not sacrifice your form for speed. That's the important part. So if you're slower than I am, also wonderful, because as long as you are putting in the work and you're minding your form, that's what matters. So do not race to keep up with me at the expense of your form either. If you are racing to keep up with me and your form starts to get sloppy, just slow down. If you fall behind, either because you're just working at a slower pace than I am, or because you're needing longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, or you need more time in between the sections, that's fine. Just pause the video. I'm not going anywhere. When you're ready to come back, we'll get back into it together. I do want you to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. So again, please mind your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. Make sure you're going at your own pace and make sure you're working to your own level. So that means choosing a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a household item or a rock that is an appropriate weight for you. It might mean dropping to a lighter weight or losing the added weight altogether if it becomes too taxing. It might mean putting your heels down for the Russian twists, maybe reducing the amount of reps that you're doing or doing fewer rounds of those two exercises. It might mean choosing different intervals for your jump rope sections or putting your knees down for the push-up. You can always shorten up your range of motion. You can always eliminate the added component to the push-up if it's becoming too taxing, okay? So make whatever changes and modifications you need to. Please just be smart, be safe, use your common sense. Listen to your body. Always make the decision that is best for you and just do your best. Please remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to begin the workout, go ahead and gather whatever equipment you need. So for me, that is my jump rope mat and my jump rope and one 10-pound dumbbell. So make sure you have something soft beneath you. An exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal, but again, if you don't have a mat, a towel should probably suffice. And if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything. If you do not have a dumbbell, remember you can use a kettlebell or a household item instead, like a water bottle or a shampoo bottle filled with some sort of weight. But if you have absolutely nothing at all that is going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, that's fine. The added weight is optional. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you are jumping rope with me today. If not, remember, you can do any kind of moderate paced cardio exercise you want while I'm jumping rope. Pause the video, go get dressed, and then meet me right back here. I am not going to be doing the warm-up routine today that we typically do before the workouts. So if you want to do that warm-up routine, I will link it up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video. So you can click away, you can do that warm-up routine with me, and then come back here for the workout. If you've been following my workouts regularly for any significant amount of time, you probably have that warm-up routine memorized by now. It's the same warm-up routine we do pretty much every day. So if you want to do that warm-up routine, just pause the video, or you can click away if you need to follow along. Do the warm-up routine and then come back here and we'll get into the workout together. I am just using that first 5 minutes of jump rope as my warm-up today because that's just what I feel like doing today. But regardless, if you want to do that with me, that's fine. If you don't need any of the other things that we usually do for our warm-up routine. If you are eliminating the jump rope sections though, and you're just starting with part 2 of the workout, please click the link in the iCard or click the link down in the description box so that you can do the warm-up routine with me that we typically do before the workouts, because you do need to be warmed up before you start part 2. So you can warm up any way you want. But if you're not doing the jump rope, then I would recommend my warm-up routine. So do whatever's going to work for you, but get dressed, meet me right back here, and then either click away, do the warm-up routine, and then come back for the workout, or you can just use that first 5 minutes of cardio as your warm-up with me. That is up to you. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started. We are starting with 5 minutes of interval jump rope. So grab your jump rope. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is 10 seconds just to get ready. We always start with the rest interval so that we have a few seconds to get ready and we don't lose anything off of our first work interval. So now we're going to jump rope for 50 seconds. Now we rest for 10. We're going to do that 4 more times. these are tough intervals for jump rope. Just 2 more rounds to go. Final work interval. Let's push. You can stop now if you want. I'm just going to keep going a few more seconds until my timer stops beeping. I always forget to mention that before we start the workout. But when I'm doing interval jump rope, when we get to that final interval, and then my timer does that long series of beeps to let me know that time is up. As soon as the beeping starts, that means time is up, but I always just like to keep going. I like to keep jumping rope through that long series of beeps. So I like to keep jumping rope until the beeping stops. It's like an extra 15 or 20 seconds, let's say. I've never timed it, but it feels like 15 or 20 seconds. But the reason that I do that, there are a couple of reasons. Number one, I just like to finish strong. So it's kind of like my jump rope equivalent of sprinting through the finish line. But number two, I suck at jump rope. So I'm frequently tripping over my jump rope. So I feel like that extra 15 or 20 seconds at the end kind of makes up for whatever time I might have lost off of my work intervals because I was tripping over my jump rope. So that's why I do that. You don't have to. As soon as you hear the beeping start, that means time is up and you can stop jumping rope if you want. But if you want to continue with me, it's just like an extra 15 or 20 seconds. And it's just my way of finishing strong and hopefully making up for any time I missed off of my work intervals because I was tripping. So, all right, it is hot and sticky out here. I don't know how I'm going to get through this part too, but I just gotta try to get through it. So I'm going to reset my timer as a stopwatch. You do not have to time yourself, but I just like to know how long it takes me. And then that way, the next time I do the same workout, I will have a very clear and very realistic goal in mind for a time that I want to beat. And it helps to motivate me to keep pushing myself harder so that I can see my times getting faster, and it's really encouraging. So I do encourage you to try it. I know we all work differently. Not everyone is motivated in the same way. So if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But I encourage you to time yourself, make a note of your score, so that then the next time you revisit this same workout, you can try to beat your own time. You're competing with yourself. Because when you can see your times getting faster and you see yourself improving, it's just really encouraging. You see that the work you're doing is paying off. And to me, I find it motivating. I find that it motivates me to keep going, and it makes me feel like a sense of accomplishment. So I'm not setting a time goal because I think this part too is going to take me quite some time. And I don't want to be discouraged. I don't want to set a time goal that seems attainable and then I miss it by like 30 minutes. So I'm just going to do my best out here in this heat. I'm going to get the reps done, and whatever my time is, that's what it is. And then the next time I do this workout, I'll try to beat that time, okay? But you don't have to time yourself if you don't want to. I'm going to time myself. If you need, we've been resting for at least a few minutes, at least 3 or 4 minutes, I would say. So if you need a longer rest break before we start part 2, that's fine. This is going to be really tough, so you might want to pause the video and rest for a couple more minutes. Towel off, get something to drink, let your heart rate come down a little bit, give your breathing a chance to normalize, and when you feel that you have enough strength and you have enough stamina to begin part 2, come back and we will start part 2 together. I'm going to grab my mat because I forgot to put on gloves. And this way I will have something underneath my hand for the push-ups. All right, I think I'm good to go. Well, my equipment's set up anyway. I don't know if I'm good to go or not. I guess we'll find out. All right, remember what I tell you before the workouts, always just do your best. Your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. So I'm telling myself that right now. My best might not be very impressive today, but if it's my best, it's good enough. So here we go. Is that enough of a pep talk? And have we stalled long enough that we're ready to go ahead and start part 2? All right, when you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So one hand flat on the mat, the other hand is holding onto the dumbbell. Push up. Now roll the dumbbell up to your shoulder, press it up overhead. Back down to the shoulder, rotate back into your plank pose. Pick up the dumbbell and place it by the opposite foot. Now reach back and bring the dumbbell forward. That's 1 rep. So we're alternating sides with each rep. So now other side. Push up on the dumbbell, roll the dumbbell, press it up overhead, and now hips go up and back. Dumbbell goes back towards the opposite foot, reach back with the hand on the same side and pull it forward. All right, so that's 2 reps. I think I'm gonna zip it because I need to conserve my energy. We're doing 18 more of those. So you know what we're doing. When you're ready, here we go. Picking up my count at 2. to my first 10 reps. I know I can't do another 10 unbroken, so I'm going to try to see if I can do maybe 6 unbroken and then take a quick rest break and then finish up with my final 4. That'll be my goal. But I'll break them up however I need to. Like I said, I know this section is going to take me a while, but I'm just going to stay patient with myself, and it's going to take however long it takes. I'm going to get the reps done. So if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm picking up my count at 10. Even though I have my mat here, I might need to run inside and get gloves anyway, because it's so hot out here. I'm sweating. My hands are like sliding on the mat. That was 16. Let me rally and see if I can find strength for these final 4 reps. I don't want to take too long of a rest break here. All right, that was 20 reps. So now we're going to move on to our Russian twists. So if you feel like you need a break from the added weight, remember you can do these without any added weight. If you feel like you need more of a challenge, you can hold on to 2 dumbbells. This is plenty for me. We're doing a lot of reps. So we're single counting them, but we're counting to 100. So it's gonna be tough. Just do your best. Again, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. So I'm just holding onto my dumbbell like this. I have one hand on either side of my dumbbell. Elevate the heels and then twist and tap, twist and tap. And we're counting each twist and tap as 1 rep. So that was 2 reps. And you better believe I'm counting them. So I'm picking up my count at 2. We need to do 98 more of those. So we're going to 100, do your best. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep going. That's 50. You don't have to pause and rest here. Remember, go at your own pace. I could have kept going, but I don't want to go until failure. I'm pacing myself to do 100 reps. So I'm pausing to rest here. Then I'm gonna pick up my count at 50 after I've had a minute to breathe and give myself enough time to regain a little strength. If I'm able to do my next 50 without stopping, fantastic. But if not, I'll break it up. I'll try to do like 30 and then 20. So I'll make it my goal to complete at least the next 30 reps without stopping if I can. But if I need to stop and rest, I'll stop and rest. All right, here we go. When you're ready, pick up my count at 50. 20 more. It's 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So that's round one. We need to do 4 more rounds just like that. Round one took me over 10 minutes. So this part 2 alone is going to take me plus or minus about an hour. I'm going to do my best to keep it as close to an hour as I can. But again, I'm not really setting a time goal today. I know this is going to take me a long time. I know it's going to be super tough. So I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to just get the reps done, however long it takes. But if 5 rounds is too many for you, remember you can do 4 rounds, 3 rounds, 2 rounds, do whatever works for you. And if the amount of reps we're doing is too many, you can do 10 push-ups instead of 20 per round. You can do 50 Russian twists instead of 100 per round, okay? So make whatever changes and modifications you need to make in order to make it work for you. But as soon as you're ready, let's go ahead and start round 2. So another 20 push-ups. That's 5. Just gonna see if I can do 4 little mini sets of 5 because I can already tell I don't have enough stamina to make it through the first 10 unbroken. So I'm gonna try to see if I can do mini sets of 5. Typically when I'm doing an exercise like this, where we're alternating sides, I would always make sure to stop on an even number so that I don't lose track of which side I'm on. But the dumbbell tells me which side I'm on, so I don't have to worry about that if I stop on an odd number, trying to remember, wait, which side did I leave off on, and then wondering if I'm gonna end up working each side unevenly. All right, let's go for another 5 reps. When you're ready. It's 10 for me. I think I can do another set of 5 unbroken. It's getting tough, but I think I still have enough strength to do it. That's what I'm gonna attempt to do. So my goal is to get through the next 5 without stopping if I can. Okay, pick up my count at 10. That's 15 for me. Just 5 more. That's 19. I just have to do one more. This is my weaker side. I need a second. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough strength to press the weight up overhead. All right, last rep. That's 20. The first 2 sweat droplets just dribbled off of my chin and onto my mat. during those last 5 reps. The first of what I'm sure will be many. All right. Did I cry yet about how hot it is out here? Because it's flipping hot. All right. When you're ready, remember, heels down if you want. Lose the added weight if you want. Reduce the amount of reps if you want. I am doing 100 Russian twists, holding onto my dumbbell, heels elevated. So twist and tap, twist and tap. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. That's my first 50 reps. Taking a little rest break here, and then I'm going to approach this the same way I did in round 1. I'm going to see if I can complete my next 30 reps unbroken, and then try to take just a short rest break and finish up my last 20. That's the plan, but I'm ready and willing to adapt if necessary. All right, when you're ready, pick up my count at 50. 60. 70. 80. So again, I'm not choosing to go until failure. I'm pacing myself in a way that makes sense to me. You go your own pace, and you pace yourself in a way that makes sense to you. Picking up my count at 80. So I have to do 20 more reps. Round 2. About a minute slower than round 1. So obviously I expect to slow down with each round as fatigue sets in. So I'm fine with that. That's certainly not unexpected. And I kept it reasonably close to my pace in round 1. So if I can continue losing just 1 minute per round for the next 3 rounds, then it's possible I could finish this thing in under an hour. We shall see. I would be very happy if I could finish in under an hour. But that's round 2. So we have 3 rounds left to go. So I am going to approach this round the same way I did round 2. I'm going to make it my goal to do 4 sets of 5 for my push-ups. If I get to the point where I can no longer complete sets of 5, then I'll break them up into 3 and 2, but I'll get them done, okay? So again, if you need a little bit longer rest break before we start part 3, pause the video, towel off, get yourself something to drink. When you're ready, come back. I'm gonna go ahead and start part 3 right now. So I'm just trying to complete my first 5 reps without stopping. If I can do that 4 times, I'm golden. barely got through that 5th rep. I'm going to keep pushing myself to try sets of 5. But it's getting harder and harder. I would love to at least get through this 3rd round being able to do 4 sets of 5. Because when I have to start breaking them down further, it's gonna really slow my time down a lot. But obviously I don't want to do sloppy reps. I don't wanna drop my dumbbell on my face because I'm pushing myself too hard and trying to push the dumbbell up overhead, but I don't have enough strength to do so. So that's what I mean when I say just go at your own pace and use your common sense and be safe. All right, I feel like I have enough stamina to possibly do another 5 reps. So I'm going to pick up my count at 5. I'm going to try to see if I have one more set of 5 unbroken in me. That'll get me to 10. When you're ready, here we go. That's 10. All right. I feel like I can do another set of 5 unbroken. It's getting hard. By the time I complete the 3rd rep, I'm having to really push and fight hard for those final 2 reps, but I think I can do it again. So let's try. Picking up my count at 10. At the point where I'm still able to do sets of 5 without stopping, but those final 2 reps are just taking every ounce of energy I have in me, every last bit of strength I have to get those last 2 reps done. So for this final set of 5, I might pause and take a brief little rest break after the 3rd rep. We'll see. Let's just get these done. Just 5 more reps to go. When you're ready. That's 19. Same as last round. I had enough strength to do that 19th rep, but this last rep is on my weaker side. And I feel like I want just a second before doing this final rep. All right, that's 20. All right, another 100 Russian twists. So I'm going to see if I can do what I did for rounds 1 and 2. I'm going to see if I can get through my first 50 unbroken, and then probably break up the second 50 reps by doing 30 and 20. That's the plan, Stan. Let's see if I can execute the way I know how to execute. Got through the first 50 unbroken. My pace is not terrible. I'm gonna lose a little more than a minute this round, but I'm still technically on pace to finish in under an hour. Just gonna keep pushing. All right, let's see if we can do another 30 without stopping. Try to keep this rest break a little shorter, since I'm only recovering from a set of 30 as opposed to a set of 50, and I only have 20 reps left to go. So let's pick up at 80. It's 90. 100. All right, I'm 33 minutes in. So I've actually really, still only lost a minute off of my pace. Each round has been consistently 1 minute slower than round 1. So round 1 took me like 10 minutes. Each of the rounds 2 and 3 took me more like 11 minutes. So that's good. But again, the important thing is just that I'm getting the reps done. So I don't think I'll be able to do 4 unbroken sets of 5 this round. I'm going to keep trying to do sets of 5 for as long as I can. So if I'm able to do 4 unbroken sets of 5, great, that's what I'll do. But probably am gonna have to start breaking these down even further, which means I'm going to start losing more time, but just gonna pace myself. I'm gonna get the reps done. So I keep telling myself that. I'm not telling you that as though you didn't understand me the first 27 times. I'm saying it to myself. We're gonna get it done. All right. Again, if you need a longer rest break before we start round 4, this is our penultimate round. You can pause the video, towel off, get a sip of water, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start round 4. So my goal is to complete my first 5 reps of push-ups without stopping if I can. My goal is to keep doing sets of 5 for as long as I can. So, one more deep breath. When you're ready, here we go. The only rep out of that first 5 that really felt like I was having to take way down deep was the 5th rep. So I know with this next set of 5, it's going to be those final 2 reps that are going to get me, but I do feel like I should be able to summon enough strength to string together another 5 unbroken. So let's try that. Pick up my count at 5. All right, so that's 10 for me. As much as I was struggling to complete those last 5 reps, I am hopeful that I have one more unbroken set of 5 in me, because the last set of 5, I had to do 3 reps on my weaker side, but this time we're starting on my stronger side. So that means I only have to do 2 reps on my weaker side. I get to finish on my stronger side, so I think I should be able to do another 5 without stopping. Those final 5, I'll probably have to take a little rest break before the very last rep like I did the last 2 rounds. That's fine by me. All right, picking up my count at 10. That was 15. I would much prefer not to have to take all these rest breaks. But I just need them. I promise I am giving this everything I have. I only have 5 reps left. However, this is where I have to do 3 reps on my weaker side. The previous 2 rounds, I was not able to get through all 5 without stopping. So why don't I just jump in, see if I can do my first 3 without stopping. Then I'll take a quick rest break, 15, 20 seconds, and finish up with the final 2. All right, that should be doable. Last 2 reps. It's 19, last one. That's 20. All right. All right, Russian twists. So I'm going to continue to see if I can approach this the way I approached it the first 3 rounds. So my goal is going to be to get through my first 50 reps unbroken. If I'm no longer able to do that, no worries. I'll just get as far as I can before I have to stop and rest. All right, when you are ready, here we go. It's 50. So now I'm going to approach the second half of my Russian twists the same way that I've been doing for rounds 1 through 3. So I'm gonna pick up my count at 50 and see if I can get to 80 before I have to pause and rest again. And then I'll keep that rest break as short as I can, finish up with the final 20. breaths here. Final 20 reps. It's 90. 100. I lost an extra minute that time. But I'm still under 47 minutes right now. That gives me 13 minutes to complete this final round and still finish in under an hour. So I'm hopeful. I think I might actually be able to finish this in less than an hour, but we'll see, because these push-ups are gonna take a long time, this fifth and final round, because I'm so fatigued and it's hot out here. How brutal that final jump rope section is going to be after this, because my legs are going to be jelly. It's only 5 minutes, but those are super tough intervals for jump rope, even if you're just doing 5 minutes. I think so anyway. All right, I'm going to continue to attempt unbroken sets of 5. So wish me luck. I think I should probably be able to at least hopefully do the first 5 unbroken. I hope. Let's find out. I really wish I had put gloves on, because moving the dumbbell is taking more out of me than it should, because my hands are sliding on the mat and I'm having to fight so hard against that, and I'm having to send energy where I shouldn't be having to send it. It's wasting energy. It's making the movement less efficient for me. But I just didn't think I would need them. But it's not only hot out here, it's humid, it's sticky, and I'm just sweating so much, and my hands are sliding all over the mat. All right, so that was my first 5. Did I do 5? Shouldn't the dumbbell be on this side? Why do I feel like I did 5 with the dumbbells on the wrong side? Maybe I moved it. I know I did 5 push-ups. I'm just gonna say that was 5. Well, let me do one more. I don't wanna end up uneven, but I know that was my first 5, and I always start with the dumbbell on this side, so it should have ended up on this side, so maybe I just miscounted. That was at least 5 push-ups. My brain is fried. I'm not gonna try to figure out what went wrong. I'm just gonna say that's 5. I'm gonna pick up my count at 5, and I'm going to see if I can do another 5 unbroken. But again, this is going to be tough because we've already done 85 of these. It's a tough exercise, and this is our 5th and final round. So obviously fatigue has set in, but also of course because I'm starting on my weaker side, that means I'm gonna have to do 3 reps on my weaker side. So let's see if I can get through another 5 unbroken. Pick up my count at 5. That's 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. So with that set, finishing on my weaker side, I didn't feel confident that I had enough strength to do that final rep on my weaker arm. So I had to pause and rest for a few seconds. So my hope is that with this next 5 reps, I can do them unbroken, because this time I only have to do 2 reps on my weaker side, and then all I'll have left is my final 5 reps, and I don't care. I'll get them done. But I would love to string together just one final set of 5 unbroken if I can. Shake out the wrists. Quick shoulder stretch. A couple more deep breaths. Let's go for another 5 if we can. If I can't, that's fine. But I think I might have one more unbroken set of 5 in me. I don't know if you could tell, but that was everything I had in me to string together just one final set of 5 unbroken. Obviously, there is no prayer of me doing 5 unbroken right now to finish this up. You guys, we've done 95 reps of this exercise today. It's a lot of reps. It's a tough exercise. We only have to do 5 more. My plan actually is just to do 2, and then 2, and then 1, because I have nothing left. All right, let me see if I can string together just 2 reps. My arms are shaking. Wish me luck. That's 17. I mean 16. Obviously losing a lot of time here, but I've just kind of like reached the end of the line. There's nothing left in the tank. I don't know how I'm gonna get through that jump rope section after this. All right, so picking up my count at 17, I'm gonna try to do another 2. Well, I'm gonna do another 2. That's 18. That's 19. All right, I have about 3 minutes left for my Russian twist if I still want to finish in under an hour. So let's push. Let's dig really deep. Find the strength for this final push-up. That's it. That was our 100th push-up. Push-ups are done. All we have to do is finish up with our final 100 Russian twists. I'm gonna push hard because I really would like to finish in under an hour, and I still think I have a shot at that. So if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna see if I can get through my first 50 without stopping. I'm gonna have to really push. I have just over a minute left to get these final 50 reps done. So I'm gonna pick up my count at 50. See if I can get to 80 before I have to pause and rest again. 60. 70. That's 80. Just 20 more. That's 90. That's 100. 59 minutes and 51 seconds. That's it. That is our 5th and final round. If that is enough for you today, I do not blame you. Whether or not you did the first cardio section with me, either way, that is plenty. That was a tough hour. That was a lot of reps. You guys, we did 100 push-ups, And they were Santana push-ups. So like not only 100 push-ups, but 100 overhead press, basically 200 pike toe taps, because each rep you're basically doing 2 pike toe taps. So that was a lot, plus 500 weighted Russian twists. We were single counting them, but even if you're double counting, that's 250 with a weight. So it was a lot of reps. That was really, really tough. I knew it was going to be tough, but that really did take a lot out of me. So now I just have to like really, really focus and do my best to get through this final jump rope section. Now, I'm very tempted to reset my timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 10 rounds. That's still 5 minutes, but it gives me twice as much time to rest. But it's only 5 minutes, so I want to stick with the way I wrote the workout. I want part 3 to look identical to part 1, so I'm going to keep my timer set the way I had it set for part 1. So 10-second rest intervals, 50-second work intervals times 5 rounds. Those are super tough intervals. I was struggling even in part 1. Obviously for part 2, it's going to be even more of a struggle. My legs are jelly. We just did a lot of reps. Fatigue has set in. It's that much hotter out here. So I anticipate struggling quite a bit. I anticipate tripping over my jump rope quite a bit. That is so frustrating for me when I'm constantly tripping over my jump rope. I get really, really frustrated with it, but I'm just gonna do my best. And if I trip over my jump rope, I'm just going to try really, really hard to leave it behind me and get right back into it so that I lose as little time as possible off of my work interval. And I'm going to do really, really everything I can to not let the frustration dictate my mindset. And then I know that for those last few seconds of the final work interval, I'm going to keep skipping as long as I can until the beeping stops, and I'll know that I'll kind of make up for it. But the important thing is that I'm getting my heart rate up. So for these next 5 minutes, my heart rate is going to be up regardless of whether I'm tripping, how much I'm tripping over my jump rope. So just have to kind of make that commitment to myself now, because I know I'm going to be tripping over my jump rope, so I have to do my best to just kind of roll with it. All right, I do not feel ready to start part 3, but am I ever going to feel ready? That was rhetorical, or it's not rhetorical, it hasn't answered. The answer is no. But sooner we start, sooner it's over, so just do your best. If you do need a longer rest break, again, just pause the video, towel off, get something to drink, and when you feel that you have enough stamina to attack this final cardio section, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is 10 seconds. Just to get ready, take one more nice deep breath. And here we go. This is our final 5 minutes of jump rope. focus. Oh my God. Train wreck. This is our final work interval. Let's push. Round 4 was disastrous, but for that 5th and final round, I managed to make it through the entire work interval without tripping, plus my bonus set of beeps at the end. So I feel great about that. If I have to have one interval or one round that's just a complete train wreck, I'd rather have it not be my last round. It always feels good to finish with a nice clean set, and then I got through at that extra 15-20 seconds of beeping without tripping, so that makes me feel better. That makes me feel like I really dug deep, found something else when I felt like I had nothing left in the tank, and it helps me to feel like I made up for that time that I lost off of my work interval because I was tripping over my jump rope. That's part 3. I knew that was going to be brutal, and it was. And we are not quite finished yet. We're almost there, but no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go, but first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope at the end of the workout. So if you would like to join me for this bonus set of jump rope, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the rope. The bonus burpee is mandatory. Everyone must do a bonus burpee. And your bonus burpee must be the last thing that you do. That is what completes the workout. But this bonus set of jump rope is completely optional, so if you do not want to do the bonus set of jump rope with me, that's fine. Just take another minute to breathe, rest a little bit, cheer me on, and then we'll do our bonus burpee together. But if you would like to join me for a bonus set of 100 with the jump rope, again, you do any style of jump rope you want to do. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the rope. One more nice deep breath. All right, as soon as you're ready, here we go. So we're counting 100 revolutions of the rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is 100. So that's our little bonus set of jump rope. So now we have just one rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. The workout is now officially complete. So let's just do a quick little cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit, while you allow your breathing to normalize. So you can pace back and forth, shake out the legs, shake out the arms a little bit. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. So just bringing one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. You see me do this stretch during the workout in the middle of those long, tough sets of push-ups. I love this stretch. It feels great for your shoulder. Just make sure your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulder is relaxed. If your shoulder is tensed and hunched up here by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So relax the arm, relax the shoulder. Keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. Shake it out. Let's get the other side, bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close towards your chest. Straight arm is completely relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Keep moving. You see I'm kind of pacing back and forth. You can pace. You can just shake out the legs. You can even just shift your weight from foot to foot, but you just want to kind of keep the circulation going. So keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So you do that by inhaling all the way down to your belly button. Each time you inhale, I want you to focus on the sensation of your diaphragm being pulled down. As you think of inhaling all the way down to your belly button, allow your rib cage to physically expand and visualize filling up your entire torso with air. So diaphragm gets pulled down as you breathe in. Send that air all the way down to your belly button. Fill up your entire torso with air, and then use your diaphragm to slowly control the air as you exhale. Shake out the arms. Let's do a tricep stretch next. So you're bending one elbow, place your hand on the elbow, and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You want to avoid having your free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So point the fingers straight down at the ground as you gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that really nice stretch in your triceps. This is another one of my favorite stretches. I think it feels great after all those push-ups. One more nice deep breath here, inhaling all the way down to your belly button. slow, controlled exhale. Let's get the other side. So bend your other elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Keep moving. So again, if you're still breathing really heavily, if your heart rate is still quite elevated, it might feel better to pace. My heart rate's starting to come down a little bit, so I'm just kind of shaking my legs, shifting my weight from foot to foot, but keep moving and keep focusing on your breathing. Come out, shake out the arms. We're going to finish with a quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or some other strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you're not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. And now you're going to press your heel into your booty cheek, really press it in there, and as you're doing that, you're tilting your pelvis forward. So as soon as you tilt your pelvis forward, you should feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles as you isolate them more effectively. But I also want you to feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexor. So one more nice deep breath here. Visualize filling up your entire torso with air every time you inhale and come out. Shake out the legs. Let's get the other side. So bending the opposite knee, bring your foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side. If you're holding on to something for support, again, if you're not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek, and as you're doing that, you're tilting your pelvis forward. Tuck that booty underneath you. Imagine trying to touch your spine with your belly button. Feel that stretch intensifying your quads. Feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexor. So make sure you're doing both of those things at the same time. So as you're tilting your pelvis forward, you want to make sure that you're continuing to really press your heel into your booty cheek. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. One last time, inhaling all the way down to your belly button. Use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale and come out. And one last time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, maybe swing the arms a little bit. And that's it, that's our little cool down. So if you find that you are still breathing heavily, your heart rate is still elevated, just take a few more minutes to pace around. You can do some more light stretching. That is never a bad idea. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It is still really important to make sure that you're taking a good 15 or 20 minutes every single day if you can to stretch. It is going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It is also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and of course it's going to improve your flexibility. So please make sure that you are taking the time to stretch every day. Just please make sure that you are doing so safely. So if you have the time to do your stretching right now, immediately after the workout is always going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done, because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you do not have time to do your stretching right now, that's fine. Just remember that if you put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you're going to need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles, because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. But that's it. That is all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. But even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please just know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear about the format of today's workout and how everything fits together, or if you have questions about how you can customize the format in order to accommodate your current fitness level or any time constraints you may have, If you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, or if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I am always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I just have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, the refrigerator smells like ambition. So if you are still watching this video, hello. Thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says the refrigerator smells like ambition. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.